No, I'm not. Okay. All right, I think I'm good now. All right. So the first thing is I want to talk about yesterday's assignment before we start today's. Did anybody have a particular question over a certain problem? Oh, good for you, buddy. Which one? Oh, I thought you were going to finally speak about math. Yes, Caroline.
11.
All right, let's take a quick look at number 11, please. All right. So here we go. Let's identify number 11. And then, again, if you understand last night's homework, tonight's a lot easier. All right, so please make sure you're in good shape. All right, equations are essential for success next year. All right, make sure you're with me. All right, I have to distribute. You agree?
Yeah.
So you end up with 3y minus 9 equals negative 2y plus 6. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah.
Now I'm adding 2y, adding 2y, adding 9, and adding 9. 5y equals 15, so y equals 3. Good. Everybody should do it. All right, let's take a quick look at 7.
I did something totally different. I don't even know how I got what I got, but I got the answer.
Yeah, so I'm just telling you now, logically, there's lots of ways you might be able to think about something, but what I would like you to do is, that's the way, honestly, I wish you would think about it. All right, if there was a better way or something more logical, I would show you, but that is what I want you to do. Yes?
I actually have a question on one that we did study it yesterday.
All right, hold on a second, though. We had somebody who said they wanted 7, and then we'll do yours, all right? So here we go. Let's find question number 7. All right? Now, I think this is number 7 right here, right? So instead of just copying again, we'll just erase this. All right, please listen. Again, the fractions are a big part of your ERBs, and you need to be good at them. All right? Without a calculator. I'm moving the 3/5. Bless you. So I'm moving this over here. So I'm subtracting 3/5 A. I'm subtracting 3/5 A. Now what I want you to keep in mind is that 5 is 5 over 1. And I've said this enough now. You should be able to understand what I'm saying. 5 is how many thirds? 15. You need to know that. 5 is 15 thirds. All right? So essentially what we're doing is we're saying 15 thirds minus, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. All right? 15 or 5 is how many fifths? For some reason, 25. Look at that now again. All right, does everybody see? All right, it's 25. So this now becomes 25 fifths minus 3/5, which is now what? 22 fifths. So you should be able to say now that 22 fifths A is equal to negative 3. Right? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Any questions with that? And now, to get rid of the fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to multiply by 5 over 22. Multiply by 5 over 22. These guys cancel. A is equal to negative 15 over 22. All right, again, remember, if you understand that, you're in pretty good shape as far as your fractions go. All right? You may have any issues with that. All right, I really want you to speak up. This is an important concept. What? From the problem, look right up here, kiddo. This was brought down. You with me? There's just a lot of stuff in the way here for the. You see it or not?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me which one now.
Okay.
If we did it again already, it's no problem to me.
I know. I just have a question.
Just tell me which number though.
It's 22.
All right. Let me see if I did 22 yet.
J equals.
Yeah, here we go. So tell me where we're at.
For some reason, I had
No, look up there on the board. Now, listen, again, here's what I always try to tell kids. Try not to repeat things that are wrong. Try to correct your thought process. Look up there on the board.
Yeah, I was doing it. My mom was like checking over.
Yep. Perfect.
She said that Jake was 3, so I was like,
Okay, well, you need to go back and explain to your mom what happened. That 11 minus 6. Look, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm really serious. I think it's great. So you would say 11j minus 6j is what? And now the biggest mistake people make is they forget that there's a negative there. So they don't drop that down. They accidentally just call it what? 15 instead of negative 15. You with me now, right? So that's why it's negative 3 and not positive 3. Yes, sir.
I made it 27
All right, let's find 27
and 19.
and 27. Look right here. Look right here. And again, I tell everybody the decimals are super important too. All right, so let's look at it because you're going to get decimal answers. You got to know how to handle it. All right. So again, I feel like you should do minus 3.2f minus 3.2f, and then minus 4 and minus 4. Now you got to pay attention here because we're not borrowing anymore. We're not borrowing. We're saying 5 minus 3.2. Well, you say, right, you say 5 minus 3 is what? 2, and then 2 minus 20 cents. $2 minus 20 cents, 1.8f. Now you owe $10.40 to your mom. You owe your dad $4. That means you owe $14.40. Everybody agree with that? All right. Now that you understand that, we're dividing by what? 1.8. We're dividing by 1.8. Is everybody happy? Now, I'm trying to teach you how to divide in your head. So please look up so I can show you some tips on division without a calculator. Please look up, look up, look up. First of all, it's going to be negative 144 over 18. Anybody have any issue with that? Any issue? I just moved the decimal. Please watch now. I can remember, I'm not dividing 144 by 18. I just don't feel like doing that. Because in my head, I can see that they're both divisible by what? 2. They're both divisible by 2. Come on now, you got to pay attention now. This is helping for your ERBs. This is how people do math tests without a calculator. And this is why people who don't have a calculator can't take standardized tests. Because they think 144 divided by 18 is hard. You divide by 2. You should be able to say 2 goes into 144 72 times, and 2 goes into 18 what? 9. Now, look how simple the problem is. All right, so now we're looking at it being negative 8. Is everybody hearing me on this? All right, that's an important way, all right, if you don't like doing long division. I think that's really important. Yes?
I did it a different way.
Yeah, it doesn't, again, I'm saying, it doesn't matter how you do it. If you got the right answer, you don't have anything to talk about. If you did it differently, you should listen to what I'm saying so I can show you how you could do it mentally. All right, and again,
I mean, I did it mentally, but is it bad if I just move the decimal to the right and then just divide it 144?
yeah, but most people don't know that's 8. You see what I mean? Did you just... Yeah, some people can look at that and say, well, that's obviously 8. All right, some people can't. All right, so I'm showing you if you can't do that, you can divide them both by 2 instead of doing long division. All right, that's what I'm wanting. All right, and last one, Jack.
19.
All right, let's find 19. All right, so here we go. It's kind of the same principle here. Well, let's just look up so I don't have to redo the whole thing. Did you follow all the subtraction, right? You can get it narrowed down to 0.8g is equal to... Now again, let's talk about this right here, guys. Let's talk about this right here. Negative 1.2 and negative 2.8. In my mind, I'm looking at negative 1 and negative 2 makes what? Bless you. Makes negative 3. Is everybody hearing me? And then I add the 0.2 and the 0.8, which is another 1. Everybody see that? All right. hopefully that's kind of the way you're adding. All right. And now when I divide it by 0.8, remember you just got to move the decimal over, so it becomes 40 divided by 8. No,
Oh, no, you said it's 4. Yeah, that's
right? It's 4.0. So I move it over to 40 now. Okay? Again, guys, very important. If you think you understand that, you're pretty much ready for Algebra 1.
Yeah,
All right.
I thought the negative 1.2 was positive.
Yep. The common mistakes.
I just
Alright.
finished it. Like I remember you saying, you could just do I just finished it by saying 4 divide over 1.
Yep.
0.8.
All right. What?
What was the answer to 15?
15, we said the answer was 11 over 2.
Okay,
Oh
how
my
is
God.
I kept
Hold up, hold up.
How is 1.2 not positive?
Because there's a negative in front of it.
Look
Yeah,
right.
but that
That's what you
minus
were.
is used in-
That's what you were asking me earlier, I think, too.
Yeah, but that minus is being used as like.
No, it's not actually. It's not. The number in the sign in front. So listen to me. Very good question. You know what I mean? I would like you to say that the 2.5 is positive and the 1.2 is negative. So what I'm trying to tell kids is the sign in front plus is the same as what? Positive minus is the same as what? Negative. Everybody hear me? All right, that's how you should be looking at it. The sign in front determines whether it's positive or negative. All righty? Okay, so now what I want to do is I need to quickly go over because we're a little behind. I want to go to section 8.8. All right, and notice what I did. I did a bunch of the problems. All right, so yesterday we did the odds, so you can look up tonight. So let's go ahead and do the evens. All right, now we have inequalities. All right, so we discussed this earlier in the year. You should be okay with inequalities. All right, so let's take a quick look. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write down question number 2. All right, and let's get started. All right. All right, now for question number 2. Could I distribute? Yes, should I distribute? No, because I can divide both sides by what this time? All right. Everybody with me? That's a shortcut. Everybody hear me? I can divide by 5. So here we go. Divide by 5, divide by 5. So x plus 2 is greater than or equal to what? 6. Is everybody hearing me? And so now subtract 2. You should be able to say x is greater than or equal to what? 4. Anybody have any issue yet? All right, now we're going to graph it on the number line. Here is 4. I always tell the kids put the answer in the opposite. There's 4 and there's negative 4. 6 minus 2. 30 divided by 5. Come on. Cross these out. And then what's 30 divided by 5? Shh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Emily. You hear me on this, right? You sure you got that? And then how do I get rid of plus 2? That's right. 6 minus 2 is? Yes. You hear me or not? All right, now back here. Good for you, girl. Because how do I undo addition? You with me? All right, very important. So now, if you're greater than or equal to 4, this would be if you're equal to 4. But it's also every number what? Greater than 4. So I teach my kids, boom, there it is. That's greater than or equal to 4. Any questions or concerns? Right? That's just a number line. All right? It's not always an equal sign. Sometimes it can be called an inequality, which means any number greater than 4 will work. All right? Let's try number 4 and let it sink in. All right,
You
let's.
have to draw the number line.
Yep, you're drawing the number line for now. Eventually you won't, because you'll understand.
Wait, what was
Come on, there's nothing to be so lost about. You got to give me a couple problems, remember? The answer is x is greater than or equal to 4. Emily? All right, watch me on the next one now. All right, let's do the next one. Here we go. Now, can I divide by 4 on this one? No. So we have to do what? We have to distribute. So everybody distribute. And when you distribute, you get somebody. Tell me what happens when you distribute. Ben.
you get 4a minus 8 less than 3a.
You may have any issues with that. Emily, you still good now, right? Don't be afraid to keep asking, okay? Same thing. All right, is everybody okay with this so far? Now I'm combining terms, right? Which means I'm going to move the a to the left, and I'm going to move the numbers to the right. So if I have 3a on the right, on the left it's going to be what? Minus 3a. Minus 3a. Then I'm going to do what? Add 8. Add 8. 1a is less than what? 1a is less than 20. Is 20 an answer? No, because 20 is not less than 20. Is 19.9 an answer?
Yes,
Because less than 20. Is 19.99 an answer? Is 19.99999 an answer? Yeah, so see, that's why when you're graphing the inequality, you had to listen to me. It's everything less than 20. Is there a first number less than 20? No, there isn't. That's why they put an open circle at 20, and we're going to the left this time. Why is it an open circle? Because it's everything up to but not including 20. All right, so every inequality like this will have an open circle. Highlight that. All right, that needs to be highlighted. This right here. Anytime you're greater than or equal to, anytime you're greater than or less than, it's an open circle. But if you are greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it is going to be considered a what? A closed circle. All right, so a closed circle would just look something like this. All right, so make sure you're hearing me on that. All right, anything less than or equal to or greater than or equal to would be closed. Everybody listening to me?
So the top one is equal and then the bottom one is greater than or less than?
No, I think you said it backwards. This right here is, this symbol right here is greater than or equal to. This symbol right here is less than or equal to. How do I know that? Because this sign right here is equal. Equal. And the top one doesn't have an equal to. So it's just greater than or less than. Yes, ma'am.
Wait, so for the number line, how do you, okay, I'm really confused.
This is less than. Do you understand this symbol?
Yes.
So what numbers are less than 20? 19, 18, 17, 16.
Okay, my question is, why on number 2 were they both, oh wait, okay.
Right? All right, so let's take a look at 6. Now remember what I try to tell kids all the time, you got to give me a couple problems, concentrate, let's see if you can get number 6 correct. All right? So here we go. Let's try number 6 now. All right, here we go. Distributing 2x minus 8 greater than 3 plus 3x. Come on now. Try to move the variables to the left and the numbers to the right. All right, so I'm going to try to move the 3x over here. I'm going to try to move the 8 over here. When I do that, I have negative 3x plus 8 plus 8. So what's 2x minus 3x? Negative 1x is greater than, what do we got? 11. Right? Now, one more minute. Now, I need you to look what I did. Right? I made this right here, and I want you to write the same note. Make it nice and big. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the signs. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change all the signs. All right, so the inequality, you would divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. So x is less than negative 11. Now try to listen to what I'm saying right here. This over here originally was what? Negative. Now it's what? Positive. This was greater than. Now it's what? Less than. This was positive. Now it's what? All the signs changed. You only have to do that when you multiply or divide by a negative. Multiplying and dividing by a negative forces you to change the sign. Everybody agreeing? All right. So now one more thing before I answer Jack's question. We're going to graph it real quick. So here's negative 11. Here is 11 less than negative 11. Yes, sir.
For the 2x minus 4, how did you get it? Did you just multiply 2 by -4?
Yes.
Oh. And then that's what you just did.
Yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
How do you know that it's like less than negative?
I read it, honestly. I'm trying to figure out what you're asking me. X
Do you know how?
is less than negative 11. That's what that says. You with me? So the number is less than negative 11. Any number less than negative 11 is the answer.
But then why do you have to change the sign?
Because when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the signs. Because I had to get rid of the negative 1. You can't have a negative here.
Then wouldn't it be if it's just a 1 wouldn't it be greater than that?
Here's what I had, and I'm not sure what you want.
Oh, okay.
When you multiply or divide by negative, you change the signs. To solve that, I'd have to either multiply by negative 1 or divide by negative. Yes,
How do you know if x or negative 11?
because you're reading. I know it sounds weird, but listen to what I'm saying. So x represents any number. The answer is any number less than negative 11. So what numbers are less than negative 11? Anything to the left of negative 11. Honestly, that's what it means. All right. Continue on. Let's try again. Let's check out number 8. All right, here we go. Cole, distribute for me. What do I get?
So you get 4x plus 3. Oh no. So
4x plus
So plus 1x
4x plus.
plus 3.
You didn't distribute
Oh.
because you're doing.
4x plus 12.
Tell me why it's 12.
Because you distributed it.
Yes, come on now. 4 times x gives you 4x. 4 times 3 gives you 12. You happy with that? So now I'm less than or equal to x. So now I'm going to move the x over. I'm going to move the 12 over.
So you get x plus 4x.
So when I do that, I'm going to put a minus x.
minus 4x minus x, and you get 3x.
That's correct. Now look what I'm doing up there, guys, because it's a little bit trickier, but I don't think it's that hard. So 4x minus x is what?
3x.
That's correct. Is less than or equal to
12.
negative 12. Come on. Tell me real quick. Carly, you okay or not?
Why is there a greater 12 in there?
It's not. I had to move this. I had to move this away from the variables. So I had to put it on the other side. So if it's 12 on the left, it's going to be negative 12 on the right. When you move something, the signs have to change. All right? Keep concentrating. It's the only way you're going to get smarter. What? We just answered that. What do I do? Tell me, kiddo. Come on. Honestly, I just told her. Do you agree it's plus 12 on the left? So if I move it to the right, it becomes, there you go. True or not? Right? So right over here now, if you're having issues with that, if you wanted to, you could put plus 0.
I understand.
But I wouldn't, that's not necessary.
I understand that, but like, why would he just be? Because it's integration.
Yep. No. All right, now from there, what do we do?
Oh.
How do I solve from here?
Well, x equals negative.
Yes, but it's not equal to.
Oh, it's
Right. Now, do I change the sign? And the answer is no, because I divided by a positive and not by a negative. I divided by a positive and not by a negative. Is everybody hearing me? All right. So now we're graphing it real quick. Here is 4. Here is negative 4. Less than or equal to is what? Solid going to the left. Everybody good on this? Right?
How come it's less than or equal to?
Because it's in the problem. Isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. Go.
Why do you figure out?
Just so you can understand the numbers. Like you didn't know before when I said less than negative 4, you weren't sure what I meant. Now you know what it means, so we're not really going to do it much longer. We're just making sure everybody understands perspective, right? Where are you at on the number line? All the numbers less than, or all the numbers greater than or equal to, less than or equal to.
If you do understand it, can I just not do that?
No, not right now. All right? I promise you we're not going to do it very much longer. All right, but I always say this is easy, and guess what? ERBs come back. Right? So that's why we're practicing. All right, are we on number 8, or did we just do 8? 10. Okay. So yes, Jack, you're up, number 10. Hold on a second. Let me find my spot. All right. All right, so what am I doing, buddy?
You do 7
Good.
times
So that would be what?
7
Minus. Good.
and you have 5x plus 10.
Good.
And then you do 10 plus 7x.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh wait, sorry. 5x plus 7x.
I'm moving the x's, right? To the left.
Oh,
So what I want you to do is put a minus 5x, right? And a minus 5x.
so you have 2x.
Well, not yes, but I want to also finish off by moving the 14. So I do what? How do I get rid of a minus 14?
You add 14
You add 14.
to 10, so you have positive 24.
Good. So now we have 2x is greater than or equal to 24, right? So x is what?
12.
Right. Greater than or equal to 12.
It is, I'm not sure. How do you figure that out?
What? Okay, so again, let's highlight right here. Here are the notes. If it's less than or greater than, it's an open circle. If it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's a closed circle. You hear me?
Yeah.
When you fill it in, that means it includes that number. All right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, which number am I on?
Oh, you just do
That was 10, right?
Wait. what
Now
was it?
listen.
Wait, so was 10
What did I say it was? Come on, guys. There's 10. Did
greater?
everybody hear me?
Oh, equal to or greater. Equal to or greater.
Right.
I didn't know.
No. Hold on. I want to go back for a quick second now. I want everybody to do this for me. I don't want to explain it, all right? But these 11 and 12, if you want to hear the explanation for 11 tonight, you can go home and listen to the video. But right now, I don't really want to waste any time, so we're going to omit these two. All right? Omit 11 and 12. All right? Omit 11 and 12. All right? No, I already have somebody picked out for 14. Sorry. I already said Allison was doing 14. Right, Allison? I can hardly hear you. What did you say? Of course. I'm excited.
Woo!
Here we go. I can hear the excitement in her voice. All right, Allison. This one a little bit tricky. Actually, go ahead, Allison. Distribute for me. Shh. Yep. Beautiful. Perfect so far. All right, now combine terms. So this right here, kiddo. Tell me what this is. Very good. So now I need everybody to stop right here because I really wanted to kind of omit this one, but I just didn't look at it closely enough. All right. So look up, please. Look up, because this is going to make you a little smarter. All right, ready for next year. Here we go. Listen, please. And before you tell me the answer, I want you to think about it. So this is a thinking question. All right, so you can't just tell me something. You got to think first before you speak. Here we go. You thinking? When is 9t minus 21 greater than or equal to 9t minus 21? And before you say something and you sound silly, you got to think about it first. You got to think about it first. That's the problem. Some of you just say things. And I'm telling you, you got to think about it first. I said, when is 9t minus 21 greater than or equal to 9t minus 21?
I told you.
What? Always.
Because it's equal.
They're equal. That's right. These two things are equal. 9t minus 21 is equal to 9t minus 21. How often? Always. All right, so next year I'll show you how to write it. But for now, since you understood that so easily, because you're thinking, you can say that's always true. All right, and next year I will show you a symbol that we'll be using, something like that. And we will be doing something like this. All right? But right now, I know it always looks complicated, but guess what? It's very easy. It's very simple. All right? So hopefully that made a little bit of sense for those of you guys who are thinking. All right? Now, let's take a look at, all right, let's take a look at 16. All right? Now, again, from now on, I really don't care if you graph. All right, I don't care if you graph. If you didn't know how to graph, you should continue graphing. All right, there's a few rules you have to know. All right, so Kate. All right, here we go. Loud and proud. What am I doing? What are you thinking? What's in the wrong spot? Let's do that. Nope, 2C is good. Because look, here's what I used to do on my paper. I used to put the equal sign, and I used to put the variables here, and I used to put the numbers here. So is this a number or a variable? So it has to go to the other side. So how easy that is? So now how do I move it? That is correct. I just put a -5 and a -5. Now do you see the variables in the right spot? All right. So now what do I get? -14, right? And now what? So C is less than. You're awesome. C is less than -7. Now visualize open circle at -7 going where? To the left. That's what you should be telling me. All right? Here we go. 18. William. You think you're up for this one? You're supposed to say, of course.
Yes.
I've been paying attention. This stuff is easy. I don't even know why we're wasting our time. That's what I hope you would say.
Oh. Oh. So you would have to distribute first. So you do 3n
Good.
plus 6, and then
And now what?
and then you do -6.
Good. So what's 24 minus 6?
Well, that is 18.
You're awesome.
And then you do. Oh, you. 18 divided by.
Why are you asking? Just tell me.
18 divided by.
Which is?
Oh, sorry. It's 6.
Beautiful work. Easy as that. All right. Now, those of you guys are saying, can I divide by 3 first? The answer is what? Yes. You just proved it to yourself. Because I distributed first, and I ended up with n is less than 6. If you divided, you would still get what? N is less than 6. It doesn't matter. All right? They're just things I think that are easy to handle, and if you can learn that little shortcut, it can save you some time. All right, let's check out 20. And, nope, I already have. Carly's doing 20. Of course you are. Remember, this is too easy. I don't even know why we're wasting our time, right? That's what you were saying. That's exactly what you were thinking, right? All right, here we go. So what do I do first? You're working backwards. Don't worry. Come on, just think. You're working backwards. Yes. Yep, -5, subtract 5, it's all good. So I end up with? Right. You're awesome. Perfect, kiddo. Now what? How do I undo division? You see what? That means divide.
So you just multiply by
Right. So m is greater than or equal to what? You already told me what to do. But look, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to show you can skip steps. Yes, of course. You just forgot that you're multiplying both sides by 3. So listen, does everybody understand? Eventually, here's how it's going to work out. All right? Honestly, you guys, listen to what I'm saying now. And Hunter, he's good at this. And some of you else are good. So I prefer, and I used to argue with my math teacher all the time, I can just do that. I don't need to tell you how to do it. Because if I can look at that and say m is greater than or equal to -9, then you know how to work backwards. Is everybody hearing me? Right? So when you solve this, here's how I prefer that you do it. Just write m over 3 is greater than or equal to negative 3, m is greater than or equal to negative 9. Leave all the other fluff out now because you've been trained. You know how to do it. You know how to work backwards. If you don't know what I'm doing, then you have to do it what? You have to show your work right over here. If you know how to work backwards, it's really simple. Where you see addition, you subtract. Where you subtract, you add. Multiply, divide. Divide, multiply. Right? It's nothing to it. Everything is simple. All right? So let's check out. Or is it time to go? All right, so here is, I'm listening. Hold up. I got to tell you what I want you to do.
I just want to know how you got negative 9.
3 times negative 3.
Okay. Oh, because they were.
All right? So listen, I did a pretty good job today, so listen, you need to practice, guys. I want you to do just 15 through 28. And I already did some of them, correct? Right, so please just concentrate on 15 through 28. Knock those out. Tomorrow all I'm doing is reviewing equations and inequalities. Thursday we have a small, easy, super easy quiz. All right, now if you're struggling, you got to put in some extra time. All right, let me know if you are. Come see me so I can help.